Good morning. Thanks to EIF to have the possibility to speak about these problems, and thanks to the previous speakers, because there are a lot of possible things to discuss, because the startup phenomenon has so many angles to be seen, and one angle that I want to underline in this morning is that is the foundation of the next generation of an European industry, particularly in technology. If we look the story of the Silicon Valley, we see that there are two main periods. In the first period, big startup that built the main technology layer with platforms were grow up by very important personalities like Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, Larry Ellison, etc. On this base, on this first layer, the second generation of Silicon Valley startups built a massive amount of startups with high level of failures, with high level frequent exit, short period to exit, and the characteristic that we can observe now in this phenomenon. In Europe, I think that we have the two challenges in the same period, because we have no the first layer in Europe. We have no platforms, European platforms, except SAP. That is not a consumer platform, it's a business platform. And if we want to build a really solid generation of enterprises, because startuppers of today are entrepreneurs of tomorrow, we need to have a solid rock foundation with the first layer of platform that help the second layer of transformational startups, e-commerce, retail, payments, and all the other things that are narrow adventures, narrow startups, normally are built on this first layer. If we speak about Google, about Amazon, about eBay, about Apple or Android and other software platform and company, we speak about the layer on which any European startup in this moment is built and founded. So this is a big weakness for Europe, and we need to have in this moment two challenges and probably two different models to deliver and to build startups, because one is rapid, frequent, with a lot of exit. I hope exit in Europe, because one of the main legacy that Silicon Valley, the first generation of the Silicon Valley gave to us, is the importance of the intellectual property. We are receiving a lot of proposals from companies or national institutions of other countries, other European countries, to establish units of research and development on the ground, to have the possibility to transfer knowledge to other countries, enterprises and universities. If we develop a model that favorites exits, that goes everywhere, and in particular in United States, we enforce that environment without creating a European environment, because we transfer the intellectual property, the talents elsewhere. So I think that my contribute today to MAP and to people of the Commission is to say that must be a big attention to both the layer. So the venture capital model, the US model, is adapted for the transformational layer, but we need a different model to develop in Europe to favor it and to develop unicorns or luckily last year there were 12 unicorns in Europe rising up and to help European potential unicorn and potential platform of the future to grow up with adoption, because the adoption from the European governments, European institutions and European corporates is fundamental, because the first generation, the platforms that comes from UA became global thanks to the adoption from US government and US large corporation. So the challenges are different, and I think that we must have in parallel two different highways, one for the transformational layer and one to have European platforms that are the real shift to the future. I close because I finish my minutes. In the last 12 months we had American investors, American funds that asked to us to invest in our company without leaving Europe and without creating necessarily a market in US. This is a revolution, really, because until 2 years ago, not until 10 or 12, 20 years ago, it was impossible to have American money in European companies without going there with our headquarters. This is a sign, a big sign that things are changing and that in Europe we are creating really some of the best company of the future. So please help us to grow up. Thank you.